when she wants to, you fucking do it.
Hey, get in here. Dallas is about to start.
Welcome to the Ewing Barbecue, where, seriously guys, if you're playing our home drinking game, please use caution and hydrate for this episode. My name is Mary.
This is Josh, and I'm not going to object to the wedding.
I'm Melanie, and I say hydrate or dihydrate, my friends.
So, a quick shout out to our Patreon members: Brendan Phillick, Captain America, Marie Johnson, Michael Jung, Jason Carter, Laura Bernheim, Brad Mulholland, Anita Wren, and Kristen Carlano. Thank you very much. Now, if you are a Patreon member, you should go and check your Patreon accounts, because we sent a little gift to our Patreon members in the mail, and I need some of y'all's snail mail address, and I left you messages, and you need to get it to me. So go check your mail and send me your snail mail. Yeah.
Do what she says.
And
you won't regret
in
it.
a similar vein, so I made stickers. I have some just fun little stickers that you can use on a water bottle or a laptop of Dallas. Right now I have a JR, I have a Miss Ellie, I have a Sue Ellen, and I have a Jock. And I also have a Ewing Barbecue logo sticker. And we are selling those. They are on my Etsy site, which I will post in the show notes. But if you just contact us, email theewingbbq@gmail.com, or message our Facebook or our Instagram, and you have Venmo or PayPal, you can just send me $10. You get all of them. No postage. That's US only. You international people, I have to charge an extra $3 for shipping because I can't afford that. But anyway, so yeah, that's just a little new thing that we're doing. So if you're interested, and I'd like to give a thank you to Kyle Lukes and Jennifer Indelicado for buying some, and for Kyle throwing a little bit extra in for the bourbon fund. That is really super rad of you, and we appreciate it. Thank you.
You got to keep the drinks flowing because Cliff Barnes needs to be lubricated.
Most of this episode.
I actually have a sticker on my computer on the upside, so when I open it, I can advertise for us. Today is September 12th. Linda Gray turns 83 today, and she does not look anywhere near 83. And Linda Gray, speaking of which, is going to be on a cruise out of Vancouver to Los Angeles at the beginning of October. We'll find the details and post it up. It's just come up last week. It's a 80s stars fan cruise, and she's going to be joined by Charlene Tilton, Cherie Wilson, and Christopher Atkins. So I can just see a Dallas. I can. Omri Katz, are you out there? You should go on this too. Yeah. I could just see a Dallas Love Boat X-Files type of a scenario here, where Sue Ellen and Lucy are chasing Peter around the boat, and the ghost of April is haunting everybody. And this weekend, coming up down at the Heritage Museum of Orange County in Santa Ana, California. I don't know anyone that's out there, the 16th and 17th. Omri Katz will be at a Camp Creep It Real event. They can't call it Hocus Pocus during the Screen Actors Guild strike. He will be there with Jason Marsden and Vanessa Shaw from there. And that's going on in Orange County this weekend, Saturday 1 to 7 and Sunday 11 to 5. And the Chiller at the end of October. We were there in April, but the end of October originally announced was Barbara Carrera, Angelica Nero, and any Knots Landing listeners out there, Kim Langford, who played Ginger in the first few seasons, is going to be there. And the newest addition as of the other day is Deborah Renard, our own Sly Lundgren.
Cool.
I just want to say I have mad respect for Deborah Renard for getting the hell out of Scientology.
Totally.
Oh my God.
Totally.
Oh my
God.
That's all I can say about that.
Priscilla Presley too.
Oh, she got
a little
out.
bit of props. I am okay, so I'm
I
not
didn't know she got
100% on
out.
this, but I am pretty sure she got out. That is the word on the street. She hasn't been really vocal about it. I know Lisa Marie got out.
Yeah, she's not going to be
And
vocal
before
because
her death.
they'll be coming after her for the rest of her life.
Right.
Yeah, she's a suppressive person.
You come after Priscilla Presley. And what is still left of the Elvis Mafia.
And
Scientology.
the Mary Mafia is going to come after you too, because don't fuck with Priscilla.
Scientology has gone after everybody. Like they have the insane amount of money and the power to do it. Like they own part of Hollywood. It is nuts.
Yeah.
It is nuts. They are a straight up cult. Josh, have you ever watched the documentaries that Leah Remini did?
No, it's somewhere on a list, but I have not had opportunity to catch up.
Josh, it is eye opening. I think you'd be really interested in that.
I think so too.
Well, since there is no fall programming because of the strike, it might be a good time to catch up on these things.
That one would probably be the series that I would tell you to go to first. It's that good. And I wish she had kept going with it because people keep leaving Scientology and Scientologists keep getting convicted of fucking crimes. Hello, Danny Masterson.
Oh, is he a Scientologist?
Yes. But also, okay, so it's Linda's birthday. It's Sammy's birthday. And I just want to say, on behalf of all of us, Mary, we are so glad you are here because it is also the 10th anniversary of a terrible accident that she was in.
It's true. 10 years ago today.
You almost ended up road pancake.
I did. I was walking across the street and I got hit by a car while I was walking. I was walking legally, by the way, with the light, and as an old man hit me. It was kind of best case scenario for the situation. I could have probably been dead, but instead I just have fucked up knees now. So whatever, it's fine.
So you're here with us with screwed up knees versus up there chilling with Larry Hagman.
Yeah.
Speaking of birthdays, I'm actually currently in Orlando for a few days, so I don't have my birthday calendar, but I will note that Mary Crosby's birthday is on September 14th. And Morgan Woodward, who played Punk Anderson, was September 16th, 1925. So I will have an updated list of all the birthdays I missed next week. And last thing on Deborah Renard is if you ever have a chance, she and Al Sapienza, who was on The Sopranos, they go around and they have a music act together. And they were opened for Peter Noon of Herman's Hermits recently. And they do a great job. And if you have a chance to see her,
for sure, I'd love to catch that. Okay, so today we are talking about Season 6, Episode 11, Episode 114 of the series, Post-Nuptial.
Here are your keys back. I won't need them anymore.
Hey, what's going on?
Cliff, I have had it with you. You want Sue Ellen? Fine, go to her.
Could my association with him hurt Harwood Oil?
That all depends on what your association is.
He owns 25% of my company.
I wouldn't want to be in JR's shoes if the Justice Department caught him. They'll just shut down your whole operation.
I assure you, a thought like that never crossed my mind.
Whatever it takes, I'll stop you from destroying Ewing Oil.
It was written by David Paulsen, directed by friend of the pod, Michael Preece, and aired December 10th, 1982. Also on December 10th, 1982, the number one song in the U.S. was a favorite of mine, Mickey by Tony Basil.
Who was in Easy Rider.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. And in the UK, it was Save Your Love by Renee and Renato. And the number one film in the U.S. was The Toy, which is kind of a weird movie if you watch it. With Richard Pryor. If you watch it now, it's a little questionable. But, 1982, I guess. I don't know. We watched that with our kids, and it's one of those things you watch and you're like,
right.
I don't remember this stuff, but all right. Okay.
Well, okay, I just watched it with my kids. Okay, that shouldn't have happened.
So, top news stories from this week and from this day in 1982. The CDC reports this first time they reported anyway. I'm sure it happened before that. First reported of a transfusion recipient who developed AIDS symptoms.
Because the blood was tasted with AIDS because the blood had AIDS. And that's when they realized it was bloodborne.
I think the first known case that I heard of was in like 1959 with some sailor or something.
I think I should clarify that a bloodborne pathogen is not just transferable by blood.
Right. Saliva.
Bodily fluids, basically.
Bodily fluids. Semen. Many different things.
And as evidenced by people like Ryan White, it was not a gay thing only.
Well, and that's why, of course, for like my niece didn't know any. My niece is going to be 21 next month, and she didn't know anything about AIDS because I feel like they don't.
Do they
really
think
talk
they've
about
eradicated it because they haven't?
So
it's just you know.
No, she literally knew nothing about the history about like how it was. No one did anything because they considered it a quote unquote gay disease until they ignored it because people are terrible.
Until white women started dying, right?
Until white women started and white little boys started dying of it. Like they were like, whatever.
And then Ryan White had his issue, and he died on the same day Twin Peaks premiered. Yeah, but that they get it now down to undetectable levels.
Yeah, I mean, of course, like it's much better than it was in the 80s, but I feel like there still needs to be a lot more education about it, you know?
And he makes no secret of it, but Danny Pintaro from Who's the Boss is HIV positive, but it's below detectable
That's a miracle.
levels.
Yeah, I heard that before.
It's a miracle that people don't have to die of AIDS anymore. It's fucking amazing.
Right?
Yes.
And also, that happened this day, December 10th, 1982, was the Soyuz, I think that's how you pronounce it, Soyuz T5. It was a human space flight into Earth's orbit, returned to Earth after 111 days in space, or in orbit. So, yeah. And born this day, this is really interesting. I was like, I don't recognize this name. So born this day was a man named Sultan Kuzenis.
Say that 10 times fast after drinking J.R. Ewing bourbon.
He is a Turkish farmer who holds the Guinness World Record for being the tallest living male at 251 centimeters, which is 8 feet, 2.82 inches.
Whoa.
Okay. Oh, and died today is Freeman Amos Gosden, who was a U.S. radio actor known for Amos and Andy. He died at 83 years old, which means he was born in 1899.
Amos and Andy, was that one of the radio shows that was one of the first ones to carry over into television?
Yeah, and it had blackface. So it's a little questionable, but
everything that was cringe back then that nobody knew was cringe.
Okay, so white people didn't know it cringe. I feel like people of color always knew it was cringe, and they're like, you guys.
And as a society, we need to learn to take these examples and use them as opportunities to invoke discussion.
Exactly, like we're doing. Yes. Anyway, and on Dallas, Josh.
And on Dallas, apparently not enough people were interested in Cliff Barnes standing up at the end of the last episode because it fell to number 2.
Oh my gosh.
But
okay.
I'm sure back then you had a friend that you could talk to at the water cooler and be like, what happened? I missed the show. Right?
That's true.
TV veteran John Cypher appears as a state official in this episode, and he played Chief Daniels on Hill Street Blues and Major General Craig on Major Dad.
And he was also in 6 Feet Under. Is George.
Oh, George of the Jungle?
George of the Bomb Shelter. I love 6 Feet Under.
And for people up near Boston, just a side note, today is the last sunset at 7 p.m. of the year.
This is depressing.
Until March of next year.
Also, another little fun fact about this episode was that a clip from this episode was shown in season 12, episode 16, which was another wedding. It occurred in February of 89.
Oh.
And somebody was doing a project. I'm guessing is that what it was part of?
So. I never saw. Here's a fun fact: I've never seen that full episode because it was the day my dad died.
Oh, well, you. It's okay.
So I've never seen the full episode. So when I watch it in a couple of years, when we get to it, that'll be the first time I've ever seen the whole thing.
In a couple of years. Wait a minute. We've got 7 more seasons to go through.
a few years, several years in the future.
Yes.
And then we have 3 years of the new series plus
Those will go quicker
movies.
though, because those are only like 13 episodes. So season
10, 15,
Yeah.
15.
It's crazy,
so
you guys.
40 more episodes
I've already finished
after.
my beer, and we haven't even started the episode yet.
we haven't even started. Yay!
Time for a refill, I
Okay,
guess.
that makes it. Okay.
So
we
we pick up right where we left off
right
last
where we
time.
left off. Cliff is standing up, and there's intense music.
So I said, y'all flustered the Reverend. Because he's like,
He did.
Y'all frustrated.
if anyone
Y'all
has
frustrated
to
the
speak now or forever hold your peace. And everybody's like staring at Cliff.
and the Keebler elf man is wiping himself.
And everyone's just like looking at each other awkwardly and looking at Cliff, and there's a lot of like eye action. And then Cliff just like turns around and walks away. And I'm like, oh, nice.
Silent emoting going
nice
on.
silent
And
emoting.
it wasn't just Miss
Right,
Ellie.
yeah.
You know, and the crazy
He said it all without saying a word.
JR, I think had the most, out of all of them, had the most neutral look on his face the whole time. His mouth was like a line. He was like, it's like he expected it.
Like, oh, right. Well, that's why he invited him, I think.
That's why I
right.
invited him.
And then he
That
just goes,
barnacle.
get on with it. And they do. While Cliff heads to the bar.
Yeah. And he starts pounding the booze like Digger
He
Barnes.
does. He's so Digger in this episode.
I'm just watching the camera pan over to like everybody as they're reciting the vows and getting towards the end of wrapping it up. And it's like they all know where this is headed. Like even the thunder in the background is like ominous. Right. It's like, okay, God himself has spoken.
So the first bit of thunder hits as soon as JR puts the ring on Sue Ellen's finger, and it's like,
isn't that weird?
And I'm like, oh, all right.
You know, and I remember, you know, I've noticed this at a lot of weddings too, and in shows. I'm not sure if it's just a trope or it happens once you get to the end of, you know, the vows and everything. When the officiant is wrapping up the ceremony, all the couples in the audience or whatever start holding hands and shit. And I saw Ray and Donna do that, and it was like,
right.
Yeah, it was. And I was like, that's sweet, but at the same time, you hear the thunder going boom, boom, and it's like, yeah, we know, we know,
we know.
No, and obviously it didn't rain because they had a reception and everybody was outside.
But they did have that big tent just in case.
Yeah,
you know?
well, you want to cover everything up anyway,
right?
Always,
because rich folks like to get married in their driveway.
Yeah, like they do.
Definitely.
And it was the next to the last episode filmed on location that season. The barbecue next week being the.
So when they get to the reception and the music starts and all that, I noticed that you could hear the stomping. The stomping on the, like when they were doing the two-step was louder than the music itself. Like it wasn't, the sound wasn't mixed very well. You could you could hear their shoes, their boots, boom, 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 boom.
And then we had Punk Anderson walking around, shaking hands with the trombone guy, and walking here and
he's
walking
glad
there.
handing everybody.
Mm-hmm. He's a little drunk.
He's filling the Jock Ewing role there.
Punk is drunk.
Punk is drunk.
Yes.
As a skunk.
And everyone is also wondering where Cliff is. Like Pam and Afton don't know. JR and Sue Ellen are kind of wondering. No one really knows.
JR tells Sue Ellen that
she's
invited
like, you did
Cliff.
what?
I know. She's like, are you serious? And he's like, yeah, of course. And she's like,
I wanted him to know with his own eyes that it's over. That's why I wanted him.
I mean, that never stopped him before, dude. Like, you guys.
Seth invited my ex-boyfriend to our wedding for a very similar reason.
What?
Not that there had been anything, but like he's like, I just want him to realize we're getting married.
Oh my.
Like, okay.
Oh my.
Yeah.
That's petty.
It is.
Oh man.
If it was really, you wanted to be even pettier, send the ex the family Christmas card every year, just to remind them.
I don't do that.
But then, okay, so Bobby and Ray have an interesting conversation about Miss Ellie. Ray's like, hey, Bobby, I'm kind of worried about Miss Ellie. And Bobby's like, what are you talking about? And he's like, well, you know, the fight between, you know, you and JR, it's going to be rough on her. And he's like, oh, she's a strong lady. Can we talk about the ways that I have issues with that, because I don't think anybody understands, let alone these jackasses, how much weight that woman carries on her on the day.
At all times.
And right now, there is nobody to carry the load with her.
Right. Nor does anyone really seem to care. They're like, well, whatever.
She's
happens,
fine.
happens.
She's resilient. She can get through this. You know what?
Yeah.
No. That somebody needs
You're
to
taking
take
your
care of
mom
Mama.
for granted.
Yeah.
Someone who was part of a couple for 40, 44, 45 years, and suddenly that couple has fallen off. And you're flailing in the wind.
She's trying to keep her family together. Meanwhile, her
the offspring are in
husband
3 different directions.
Has made it so that your kids are fighting.
Yep. All that stuff. And then the only one who gives a damn is the 4th son, who's not her son, but thinks of her like his mother.
I know. I love that.
And she never really had the closure of a funeral for her husband.
It is weird that they never had any
somewhere.
sort of funeral for Jock. Just to put a little bow on it or whatever, you know?
Right.
I wondered about that because in the new series
like
they had a headstone for him. It's like, did they actually go drag the lake and find him, or did they just memorialize him?
I bet they just, after a while, they're like, okay, we should put a headstone up for Daddy.
How long can you be at the bottom of a swamp before an alligator eats your carcass?
I feel like he wasn't there for very long.
Bones. It depends on what was in the water.
Right. A swamp's going to be warm. It's going to be a lot of decomposition.
And nothing that goes in that swamp is coming out. It's dark as it's quicksand on the bottom there.
That's right, quicksand, because quicksand in the 80s was a problem. It was a problem.
Yes. And we should note that Mickey is floating around. Like, why the hell was he even invited?
Well, they invited the hell.
He's looking for Lucy. Well,
as JR points out later, yeah.
Yeah.
And he's just taking advantage of the free booze. He's just drinking. You can tell he's drinking Budweiser the whole time. And looking for Lucy, which Ray's not happy about.
And then JR and Clayton have a little discussion.
Yeah. What the hell?
JR's like, wow, it must have, it takes a big man to give away the woman he loves. And Clayton's basically like, motherfucker, I will kill you if you step out of line. Hear me, boy?
Clayton just looks at him in his audacity and is like, you like to savor your victories, don't you? And he says, there's no use cooking unless you're going to savor the meal. And I'm like, God damn it, JR.
Clayton's face says it all, though.
Boom.
So, like, if you hurt her, like, I will end you.
Yeah.
In the last episode, between Punks dressing down JR at the thing and then Clayton here, it's like Jock Ewing's voice is coming out of their mouths.
Totally.
But that never stopped him before.
No.
And it's JR. He's going to fuck it up again. It's just a matter of when and how. He's going to fuck everything up.
Of course he will.
But you will never have the jock cock coming between the feuding brothers. Now bring it up, boys!
Because he was really the only one who could do that. Yeah.
And the look on Jock's face, like his head was going to explode. In a manner much reminiscent of Carter McKay's. Yes. Don't give me that crap.
And then, so they're just kind of like giving each other warnings, and it's tense. And then some rando interrupts them and takes Clayton away. Just it was getting interesting.
Yeah. So then, isn't this the part where Cliff goes up to Sue Ellen? Finally.
Yep. I wrote, there's Cliff.
And he's
obviously several drinks in.
He's like, yo, I want to dance.
Pam wants Cliff to leave and so does Afton.
Yeah. They're like you're making an ass of yourself. You should just go.
Oh, and that's when he's like, I need to go find her and dance with her.
And they're like, are you fucking serious? And he's like, yeah.
Like, JR invited me. He married her. Well, guess what? I'm going to have this dance.
Which JR comes by and says, you're never too far from the free drinking food, are you, Cliff?
That's like Cliff saying he's going to dance with her. he's in enemy territory. It's like one of the Hatfields running through the McCoy's territory going, look at me, I'm a Hatfield. Woo, 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 woo.
So he's been working
Yes.
himself up. He's like, fuck, they invited me. I'm going to go. So he's been working himself up, and now he has some liquid courage on top of that. So he's like, fuck it. I have nothing to lose, because he doesn't consider Afton. So he's just like, I'm just going to go for it.
He already interrupted the ceremony. He might as well go all the way here.
Right.
And he goes up to Sue Ellen. He starts talking to her, and he's like, I want to dance. And she's like, I don't think that's a good idea. And he's like, come on, you owe me that much.
She doesn't owe you shit.
Right. She doesn't owe him shit.
Is that what you're going to say?
Yeah.
The look on your face says it all. It's like, yeah.
She doesn't owe you shit.
Yeah. From Shinola.
I hate that. It's like, it's so fucking manipulative. She doesn't owe you a damn thing. And Sue Ellen, she should have left him there. She should have been like, fuck you, and just like walked away.
Right.
But she didn't want to cause a scene.
She should have gone and found JR and said, JR,
but what kind of scene did you think she was not causing by dancing with him? Girl.
I think she also still harbors a lot of guilt because of the attempted suicide. So I think there's that still, because it hasn't been that long.
No, it hasn't.
And the hired help has to.
Oh, yeah. Mickey is like, hey,
fire.
JR. Like, JR comes out and he starts making fun of Mickey. And Mickey's like, yeah, well, isn't that Cliff Barnes dancing with your wife?
And he's like, wait, what?
Your bride is dancing with your enemy there.
And he's like, oh, yeah, whatever. What's a party for? And then he's like, fuck. And he walks over there to break it up.
He's like, I want him out of your life and off this ranch.
And that's when all hell breaks loose.
That's one thing I've noticed. JR, like, at this point, it's not about calling Barnes an idiot or, telling him that he's low class and he has to get off at the ranch or anything like that. It's, I want him out of your life and off this ranch right now. This is JR, like, taking his shirt and going, Roar! Like,
oil up that chest.
This is him going all caveman. This is JR. This is as caveman as JR gets.
That's pretty true, actually.
He's only gone there a couple of times.
And this is one of them.
This is one of them.
JR breaks up the party and tells Cliff he's outstayed his welcome. He tries to grab Cliff. Cliff pushes him away, and as someone, domino effect, lady in the pool, drink. Because someone goes in the pool.
Oh, Fred! Oh, Fred!
Her date gets kicked into the pool. Drink again.
And that man, obviously his name is Fred because she's yelling, oh, Fred!
And then Bobby runs over. Clayton runs over and just punches JR in the face because he's always wanted to do that. So someone punches someone, drink. JR and Cliff wrestle. Bobby runs up to both, and the three go into the pool. So 3 more drinks.
But did you notice that Bobby held Cliff's arms behind him while JR punched him in the face?
I did not notice that. That's hilarious.
Oh, yes. It was like they were tag teaming.
And then Ellie gets pissed and screams for them to stop it. And then just at that moment, 3 more people just jump in the pool because sure, why not? So drink 3 more times.
But there was Ray coming over and then somebody getting in Ray's way and Ray going to punch him and then Mickey jumping on that person and then they all flung into the pool. That is probably my favorite fight in the pool at Southfork.
One of the greatest scenes of the series thus far, in my humble opinion. So I just like standing ovation. I love it. Love it.
As Leslie Nielsen said in Naked Gun, I love it. I love it. And they're actually releasing a book, The Zucker Brothers, Behind the Scenes of Airplane, within the next month.
Oh, that's cool.
So that was my favorite fight that I can remember.
It's just one of the best episodes. It's one of the best scenes in the show thus far. We're in season 6, and this is one of my favorites.
It goes up there with spoiler alert. Cut this. With the Oil Barons Ball, where
83
with Peter
yes.
was that? Yeah,
I think that's my favorite episode of Dallas is the 1983 Oil Barons Ball because that episode is so good. He bit me.
He bit me, Sue Ellen. What do you mean? How did with his teeth? How the hell do you think?
That boy has a crush on you.
That just had everything.
That's so
going
good.
for it.
Oh my God.
So we cut to commercial, and then when we come back,
I'm assuming
next day, because they're cleaning up the wedding, and a helicopter is landing to take Clayton
to Southern
away.
Cross. Yeah.
And Ellie apologizes and says, we won't be having any more of those fights.
And Clayton's like, that was fun. Are you kidding me? That was great. And she's like,
I rather enjoyed getting into that. It's been a while since I got into a good fracas, he said. Fracas.
And then they kiss goodbye on the lips. And I believe Ellie looks like she's swooning a little bit. Is it just me, or she looked like she's swooning?
Happy swoon to you till we meet again.
And then we cut to Cliff's apartment, where Afton has come to break up, give back her keys, and take her stuff out of the apartment.
I mean, when
this scene gets very intense.
Yeah, it does. But at the same time, I mean, I know she loves him, but she needs to let him go because he's still hung up on Sue Ellen. Yeah, and it's not fair to her.
Swelling.
So I feel like the argument they have, he has no right to be asking her what he's asking her, nor does he have the right to react the way he does, nor does he have the right to even pretend to be jealous.
Right. So to recap the scene, she comes to break up, get back her stuff, and Cliff is super confused why for some reason. He's just like, what? But why? And she's like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, you just danced with your ex at her wedding.
Just showed your ass. Like,
yeah, right. Yeah. And
you basically almost screwed up their wedding between standing up in the middle of it.
Right. You shit the bed and I'm out. Like, what are you doing? And then he's like, oh, fine. Well, you might as well just go. He's like, the last thing I need is female emotionality.
Oh my God.
And she's like,
whoa.
Are you fucking kidding? Female emotionality. Like, you are the most emotional motherfucker I've ever seen.
I'm surprised he didn't start dancing around singing the Yellow Rose of Texas.
And then
wedding.
she's like, she whips out, and that's the one thing you never want to say to anybody, the after all I've done for you trope. I mean, true, she has. And he's like, what the hell? What the hell do you mean? And she's like, forget it. And he's like, no, what does that mean?
Yeah, because he's like, I got that one deal all by myself, and I showed up, JR, and she's like, the fuck you did? Like, whatever.
Did you really do it yourself?
Did you really? Because I think I helped you. And he's like, what does that mean?
Why don't you call Gil Thurman and ask him?
And then he like grabs her and throws her on the bed, and you can see in that moment that she realizes like how important that moment is. Because he's like, did you sleep with him?
And she's like,
and
no,
she's like,
she lies.
No, she lies. Totally lies. Because it's Afton and she loves him. And she's trying to help.
If she was Pinocchio, her nose would have bopped him in the face.
And she's not lying for her. She's lying for him.
Because then they make violent love.
Yes. Ugh. God damn it.
Which it was the lovemaking was kind of like cringy in the way when JR did it to Kristen and then Sue Ellen that time.
But Afton was into it though. Afton was into it.
Right. She was into it.
Sue Ellen were into it. Kristen was not.
Mm-hmm.
That's the difference. Kristen was not. Kristen kept saying no. So
she should just go back to Rudy Millington.
So then we cut to JR soaking his hand in some water for his punching hand.
And apparently this is a Ewing property that we never hear of again.
Like the whole time I was like, where are we? Because it looked for a second like maybe it was a weird angle from Southfork, but then I was like, no, she walks away and there's like water. I'm like, what?
And there's an ES on was it Ewing Southfork maybe?
Yeah,
they got a place in Galveston maybe? Or Lake Ray Hubbard? South Padre Island. That's where it is.
A comment
wait.
is it?
I think it's South Padre Island, yeah.
It would make sense. The water would make sense then, because it seems like it's like the Ewing like cottage or something. Because he's like, oh yeah, we never get away from here enough or something.
Nobody will ever come down here again because it's the only time we're ever going to see that on this show.
It's ringing a bell
weird.
though, South Padre for some reason, but I mean, they should have used it more.
South Padre didn't JR go with Kristen there?
Or was that no, they went to
Julie Gray.
Didn't they go to
He and Julie Gray went somewhere because they were
it was with someone.
Because they were walking on a pier
Julie
together.
Gray,
Remember that?
Something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's one of JR's ladies.
But they had a vacation home and
yeah.
Okay, JR, go horseback riding with your wife, jackass. You are going to get laid. Like whatever you want to do, whatever she wants to do, do it because win-win. Like you're stupid.
She wants to go horseback riding. And then she wants to
she wants to go. And then
she wants you to ride her. Like that's.
And then she wants you to ride her. Like
she wants to ride you after you ride a horse.
I mean, she wants to ride a horse.
He's like, oh no, I gotta recharge my batteries. I'm not as young as I was the first time.
And she says, "Well, you're much more interesting now." And I'm like, "Oh shit! Like, what did you do? Like, now I'm interested."
And
I know.
He said they explored enough territory last night.
You guys gotta realize at the same time when they got married the first time, she was a virgin.
True. That's gonna put a little bit of a damper on it.
So he was probably like treating her like some
delicate flower.
Yeah.
And then this time he's
and
like
was not this time.
You know?
Right.
He popped the cherry.
But basically, yeah, no, JR, once again, you are a dumbass.
Yeah, no,
and as soon as
he watches her walk away.
He calls the Flamingo Motel at room 14 and a guy named Mike and tells him to come up to the house now.
Is it the Flamenco Hotel or Flamingo? I couldn't tell.
Flamenco, maybe.
I just wrote down. I wrote down Flamingo.
One of the two. It's either a bird or a dancer.
And then he's all like, "Yeah, you can come now." And I was like, "Oh shit!" And at first I was like, "Oh shit, Jerry, you got a lady coming?" Luckily, it wasn't.
But it was a guy named Mike.
It sounded like a business call.
Because I wouldn't put him past JR to do that.
Now she's back in the stable, so he's going to go ride horses in somebody else's field.
It's totally like him, you know, when they're so happy and they've just had their wedding night and everything. You know, she wants to go and like go ride the horses and stuff, and he's like, business deal, but let me drink a little more, hair of the dog, and then we'll talk later. You know,
right.
That's married. That's married JR too. Like happily married JR. He's still got to conduct business even when he's trying to relax. He never stopped. Because I remember,
because that was what
she was probably riding.
I remember Ewing Oil first.
Spoiler,
she's probably riding. She's probably riding him, and he's probably going over a business deal in his head.
But I do remember a spoiler in the later seasons where he goes to buy that new building, and she meets him and John Ross there. And she's like, why don't you stop thinking about business for a while? Let's go on a vacation. Like, let's just get away. You know, you've been under so much pressure. Let's just go and chill somewhere. And he's like, I can't, honey. You got to strike while the iron is hot. And I'm like, she's telling you to slow down and take her away for a getaway, you idiot, with your kid.
We can go to California and surf on the beach and visit Gary.
Yeah, that's what he would love to do, is visit Gary.
No, like they fucking needed a real second honeymoon with like nothing, no business, nothing, like no kids, no business, nothing.
Right, he doesn't understand that. That's not a world he knows.
Put him on a cruise ship and have no phone service back to the mainland.
God, he would lose his goddamn mind.
Remember when I said I recommended gummies last time, that they should have had that along with the champagne? He needed to be cross-buzzed.
He needed to be doing the acid that Larry Hagman used to do with Keith Moon.
You know, oh my gosh, I just made a crazy parallel. So this is really strange, and I wonder if it was coincidental, or I wonder if she had anything to do with the storyline. But what happened with JR and Sue Ellen's honeymoon, come to find out after reading Linda Gray's book, was very similar to her own honeymoon. Yes.
With Ed Thrasher?
They went to Acapulco.
Oh.
He got up the next morning after like their wedding night, because they left the same day. as they got married and they went to Mexico. And he got up the next morning and was like, I'm going to go take some pictures. See you later. And like left her alone all day and went to go like be like Mr. Photographer Man. And she sat out by the pool watching all these other.
Is he a photographer?
Yeah, he was a photographer. Yeah. But he like married her, took her on this honeymoon. Like she lost her virginity to him. He woke up the next morning and was like, hey, I'm going to go take pictures. I'll see you later for dinner. And she was like, okay.
So
and just sat by the pool all day watching all these newlyweds around her, and she was alone.
Oh, that sucks.
Pardon the pun, but Ed thrashed her on the wedding night and then got up and went and took photos.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, but she like it's really sad. Like in her book, she's like, you know, I haven't
got to that part yet.
Oh, I'm sorry. Didn't mean to spoil it. But yeah, she
No, it's fine.
She said she knew like right then that she'd probably not made a good decision, but she was going to ride it out, basically. Yeah. Like it wasn't a love match, but she was determined to make it work.
They had 2 children.
They were married a long time, weren't they?
They were married from 1962, 63, 62, I think, to 1982.
That's quite a while.
And they had their first child not long after they were married. I want to say within 2 years. And then that was Jeff. And then Kelly
before the pill.
Yeah, and then Kelly came along right after, and then she didn't have any more.
But you know what? The marriage produced their 2 children, so 2 blessings came out of that marriage.
Sure.
And then the grandchildren.
Yeah. So we cut to Ewing Oil, and Clay and Jones from the OLM are there to see Bobby, they think. But it turns out he's actually there to see JR, but JR's not there. He's on his honeymoon.
Whoops.
Right.
It's like you didn't see it in the paper, really?
Right.
Come on, dude.
Come on, the Ewings are the front page of every edition of the paper. How can you not see it?
Like everyone else are probably afraid of actually JR, so they're just going to go to Bobby.
Right.
But they have a theory about what JR is doing with that oil.
Yeah.
Or crude,
yeah, they think that he is selling to embargoed countries.
Uh-oh.
Which is a major no-no.
It is a major crime.
One of which, and Walt Driscoll may be helping him because he's
in the Caribbean. Yeah. And Bobby's like, oh, holy shit. I don't know. Like, basically, Bobby's like, I wouldn't put it past him, but I have no idea. So I'll check it out.
So he's starting to track down Harry Perkins at Ewing 8, who calls him back later after fixing a pump.
Yep.
And we'll get to that.
Yep.
So things are starting to. JR's business is starting to encroach on Bobby's side because the outside world doesn't see 2 halves of the company. They see one company, and Mr. Eugene has a great point later in the episode before he leaves the office. We like Mr. Eugene.
So quick scene with JR signing papers with, is this Mike? Selling to Petro State.
That's just a quick throwaway scene just to show why Mike came up to the house. Then we cut to the cartel, Punk, Holly, and Rebecca.
Scalini restaurant.
Scalini, yes. That makes you want to drink Italian wine.
Yes. And they all agree that they need to get JR's variance rescinded somehow.
And they are going to instruct other people that have refineries that it is in their best interest to not do business with JR if they want to stay in good with this other group of oil people.
And Holly is sitting at the end of the table looking like
what?
Super awkward.
Like, what did I get myself into?
What the fuck did I do?
Oh, no.
Did I just roll in the hay with the devil?
Shit.
She realizes what she did at this moment. She's like, shit.
And then Rebecca chimes in saying that she is going to give the full weight of
Wentworth Tool and Die.
Tool and Die and say that they're going to stop supplying refineries with parts if they. So she's now putting herself out there.
Several people like Punk are like, whoa, like that's a lot. Like that's going a little overboard. And she's like, I'm just saying I will go there if I have to. Fuck them.
Like I will pull the plug, and that is a business thing. Like you make deals, and then if they don't deliver on their end of the bargain, you cut them off. I've done it.
Right.
they're in violation of the contract.
It's not even.
That
It's
is what
not
it
even
basically
contracts.
is.
Sometimes it's just informal agreements, acts of good faith. You trust that what they're giving you is on the up and up, and then they prove you wrong, or prove themselves. They prove themselves wrong, I guess you could say. And you're like, oh, well, you negged on our deal. I gotta pull it.
Right.
Right. And she's like, because
they're in violation of what they were supposed to do.
And they're like, that might not be legal. And Rebecca doesn't give a fuck. She's just like, whatever. I don't care.
Well, I mean, are they is Wentworth Tool and Die private companies, I'm assuming, not publicly traded. She can do whatever the fuck she wants. She doesn't have shareholders to appease to.
Yeah.
Just the board, and the board will do whatever the fuck she wants. Again, because she's Rebecca goddamn Wentworth.
That's right. Boom.
So she'll be like, hey,
she's come a long way from the...
I make one phone call.
And then they cut back to Holly at the end of the table like, fuck.
Rebecca has come a long way from the days of her
Now, Rebecca Wentworth, I have a feeling, and we will touch on this in a couple of scenes. Rebecca Wentworth, to me, was a lot like Sue Ellen ends up being.
Yeah.
Sitting in the background, listening, observing, learning, absorbing it all. Nobody gives it a second thought because it's just a little woman who had to teach herself how to read and write. And then
someone who is overlooked but super smart.
And knows exactly what the fuck she's going to do before she does it. Everything is very carefully executed.
Yep.
Rebecca Wentworth is a force to be reckoned with. We love Priscilla Pointer.
Yes, we do. Boom.
Who is still with us today.
Yes.
I think she's among the oldest living cast members.
Yeah. So then we cut to Harry Perkins calling Bobby. And Bobby asked, like, hey, do you know where all this, like, I know that, like, you're working mostly for JR now, but, like, can you just tell me where the oil is going? Because I'm really worried about it, and we're, like, friends.
Well, it's going to Galveston, but beyond that, I don't really know where, he says, but I can find out.
Bobby's like,
I was like, that'd be great.
Yeah, you do that. Thank you.
Oh, boy.
And then we go to the Von Trapp boy.
Oh, my God. So Bill...
Shut your Von Trapp, Bill. Shut your Von Trapp.
Walks Lucy back to her hotel room.
Oh, my God.
After a night shoot. And immediately makes a pass at her. And Lucy's like, she pumps the brakes. And she's just like, hey, I just have to go to bed. Like, I'm tired. She's making an excuse. You can see the fear in her face. And Bill just is like, what? And then she turns around, goes in her room, and he looks annoyed as he goes to the elevator.
Well, that's too bad.
Okay,
she said no. Go home. Right. Go on.
She's tired. She's tired, Bill. God damn it.
Like I said, Bill, shut your Von Trapp and go home.
And then we cut to JR and Sue Ellen in the morning, and they're looking a little disheveled. While drinking, disheveled but happy, drinking their coffee in the morning and like
it's so
buttoning up their shirts.
They look less alert the morning after
oh yeah,
than they did the morning after. It's like
because the first morning after was a practice, and now they're like ready.
I know.
Whatever's happening, which I kind of want to know. It's got to be something good.
I know, because you think about it, these two like couldn't stand the sight of each other, and now you can't get them out of bed.
Right, because it's all the passion.
Oh my God.
You know, they're either hating each other or loving each other. There's no like in between.
It's toxic as fuck, but you know that sex is fire.
Toxic, but
you know it's
toxic,
fire.
but fuck, but yeah.
Oh my God.
Totally, yeah.
And she wants to go out on the water on a boat.
This time
JR said he and water don't.
She wants to go on a boat. And he's like,
I'm on a boat, motherfucker.
And again, JR, you dumbass, you are going to get laid. She's telling you she wants to get on a boat where you guys will be left alone out in the open sea for hours and you can be naked.
Yeah.
What the hell? And
he's like,
champagne.
She's gonna stroke your pal.
You're an idiot. And he's like, oh, so I gotta go to town. And she's like, what the fuck? It's my honeymoon. And he's like,
and she has a point.
She does have a point. He's like, sorry.
JR, do you want your business in the bed
And he's
or in
like,
the
I'm
boardroom?
sorry, honey, I couldn't get out of it. Actually, it would be good for us. And she's like, fine, then I'll go with you. And he was like, but it's business. And she's like, and? Like, if
I want a
we're
total commitment
partners,
from you this time.
partners in every sense of the word, then let me in on this shit.
Yeah, she's like, she lays down the law, which I think is a little weird after the wedding.
Yeah.
But she's just like, look, I am your partner now for real this time, and no more women other than me, and no games. And Jared's like, oh yeah, that's totally
what are
what
you
I
talking
agreed to at the
about?
wedding.
I really,
You're like,
the funny thing is, I really don't think he intended, like, he didn't intend to, like, I'm gonna absolutely go out and fuck other women. I don't think he intended to, but
of course not.
no,
It's just,
but then when it presented
it's a fuck
itself,
up in that way.
yeah, that's just how he fucks up. I think he talked himself into being able to do it for her, and then
I'm sure he did.
And then was like, what? You know, the first opportunity he gets.
But he still has the same J.R. Ewing penis.
Well, that's
that
exactly
he had
it.
before.
But I think he has said to so many people that he has changed, that he can change, that he'll be the better man for Sue Ellen, that he's actually starting to believe it.
But his penis
I
doesn't
think
believe
it's
it.
a form of addiction for him.
Yes. He actually
Honestly,
believes it, even though it may not be true. He believes it to be true.
Right.
Until he proves himself wrong. But
time and again.
But and then when she's like, okay, like you said, should have laid down the law. She's like, here are my terms. Here's my post-nup, basically. He's like, yeah, I'm in, baby. Come with me to the meeting. Yeah. And she's like,
and then she looks him like dead in the eye, and she's like, because I can't handle it any other way. So no, don't fuck me this time, or don't fuck other ladies
it's this
way
or the highway.
Right. And he's just like, oh no, it's good, babe, it's good. And she's like,
you want to come to the meeting with me? All right, let's do this. And this is where I think
let's do it.
we have missed a perfect opportunity to turn
to make them into a power couple,
to make JR and Sue Ellen a power couple.
They would have been amazing.
Yeah, because I mean, Gil Thurman, of course, went terribly. I think it's so weird. And I told Mary earlier this afternoon, I was having
a lack of communication,
a battle with myself about misogyny. And then, like, oh my God, what a dog. I can't believe he went after her like that. And at the same time, I'm like, okay, well, if you give her like a little push-up bra and like some tape and stick them out like this, and then, give the dude some booze and some really good food and just have her sit there. But it's going to be, JR is going to be there the whole time.
The difference is consent. Is Sue Ellen consenting to that or not?
Yep.
But she had no idea it was coming when it actually happened. But if JR had been like, this is my plan. You're part of my plan. Yep. We're gonna fuck with this guy. She could have been like, okay,
would have
cool.
done it in a heartbeat if he had been
honest with communication. Get on the same page.
Like, dude, JR, you are so stupid. Sue Ellen would have done anything you asked her to.
Right.
Because
and she would have thought
you.
it was hot.
And she could have thought it was hot.
She loves you, and she thinks that shit is hot. And she would have been like, fuck yeah, let's do something. Let's do it.
Let's fuck with them. Yeah, exactly.
Don't keep her in the dark.
No.
Bring her into the light.
This was a terrible execution all the way around. Of course, we love the drama and shit. But, dude, they could have...
lost opportunity.
They could have fucked with so many people.
So many.
And no wonder... I mean, I wasn't there for the episode, but when you guys recorded, but I do remember it. Like, no wonder she was fucking mad. Like, JR deliberately stayed out, but at the same time, I know JR knew that Gil Thurman was a dog. I don't honestly know if he expected him to, like, try to get all, like, rapey with his fiance.
Right.
Because it's kind of like JR is like, well, I can, maybe use her as, like, eye candy or some bait, but he's not going to do anything. It's Sue Ellen. Like, we're an institution. Gil Thurman didn't give a fuck.
Mm-mm.
See, they could have turned them into such a power couple, and it's a shame they stopped these crossovers with Knots Landing, because Abby and Greg Sumner on Knots Landing, they missed a golden opportunity of having a crossover where JR and Sue Ellen tangled with Abby and Greg Sumner, because that would have been such a explosive situation.
And not to be spoiler, but the Sue Ellen of the 90s in the TV movies, the businesswoman, like the CEO of Ewing Oil.
Yeah.
I think, I mean, of course, that's when, like, it was the 90s, but Sue Ellen of the 80s could have been very much like Hillary Michaels was in the 90s. Do you remember Models Inc.?
I mean, yes.
Oh, where she played Heather Locklear's
I watched
mother.
it when it
She
was
was
on
a cutthroat.
originally. It was a long time ago.
Now back to Bobby. He finds out that oil is going to Harwood Oil, and it's being refined in Galveston. And then, so he needs to meet with Holly, who's playing tennis. So he says he's going to go over to her place.
Mm-hmm. She's pretty excited he's coming over.
There. Yes. Yeah. And then Bill apologizes to Lucy.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, and then he comes on to her again.
Right. He apologizes. I have a lot to say about this scene. He apologizes for coming on too strong, and she's just like, it's okay. Like, whatever. Like, I have issues. I have my own shit. Like, it's not you, it's me. And then he's like, well, I just figured it was because you didn't like guys. Like, yeah, Bill, that's the only reason she wouldn't want to, like, make out with you is because she doesn't like guys. And she tries to be honest with him. She's like, oh, no, it's not bad. She's like, I do like guys. She's like, it's just like, I've been going through a bunch of stuff and, like, I'm not in that place right now. And then he's like, oh, okay. And then immediately, like, hits on her again.
Now, remember, he also got dumped by Marsha Brady because something suddenly came up on the Brady Bunch. So he's very frustrated at this point in his career.
Right. it just, and then she's like, so he starts coming on to her, and she's doing all of these signs, like these girl signs, like giving him outs, like body language, like I'm not into it. And she's like, hey, but I wish I could, but like we have to get going. And he's not picking up on any of it. And he's just like, no, I'm the client. And like, she's literally like wincing, like he's kissing her, and he's not noticing at all.
And that's, men notice when you tense up. Don't tell me he didn't. He just didn't care.
Right.
He did not
like
care.
Read the room, fucker.
He did not care.
Is this scene or the last scene where he goes to unbutton the blouse?
He immediately goes to and then she just loses. She's just like, nope, I can't do this.
And I said, dude, have you never, ever met a sexual assault survivor in your life? Like, is it not obvious? Like, fuck all the way off. Like, I don't get you, Lucy. I don't know what
I don't get you. Like, she's not coming on to you at all. She doesn't even look semi-interested, dude.
She looks scared, and she wants you to go. That's a woman who has been hurt. Number one. Number two, she owes you nothing. And if she says no, get the fuck off her and get out.
Right. Yes.
She is there to do a job, not to
roll
in the hay.
Okay. And then he says, Lucy, you sure have some problems, and they're more than I can handle. And I'm like, no one asked you to handle them, Bill. No one did.
No one said shit to you.
No one said shit to you, Bill. You're not a part of any of Lucy's life. Get the fuck out.
Again, shut your Von Trapp and go.
I swear.
Oh, Holly's in the pool. This is a new thing we're introducing as a part of our drinking game.
Holly's
Anytime
in a
Holly's in a bathing suit.
We should have done this earlier, but we'd probably be dead by now. But
take several drinks and hope that
Holly
your liver
has changed into her swimsuit for her business meeting with Bobby, because of course she did.
I mean, I would love to conduct business poolside or oceanside. Fuck yeah. Give me chargers and a cooler and sunscreen and a little bit of shelter and somewhere to pee, and I will put together the best deals ever, man.
Yeah.
I feel like that'd be my element.
Yeah. Well, I think that's Holly's element too, because she's all about a swimsuit deal.
Yeah, I mean, see, and that's.
I
just want to say this about Holly Harwood. She's smart. On top of being pretty, And she worked remotely before remote work was a thing. And she still closed deals. So you know what? Everybody can fuck all the way
She didn't
off.
trust herself. She consulted someone she thought was an expert because she was like, I don't know what I'm doing. But it turned out that she actually was pretty good at it.
She was pretty
quickly.
And she was young and she had to learn. But she was capable.
Yes.
Can I schedule a business meeting?
What?
With who?
With Holly Harwood.
I mean,
sure.
I'd like you have to talk to Holly about that.
I would go in the pool. I would go in the pool, for God's sakes.
Like, well, I don't have a pool and I can't be dockside, so I don't know about that, but
she's offering her pool, so I would go in the pool. Somebody take her up on a swim. It must be friggin' hot down there in Texas.
Sure You've ever been swimming in a 95-degree pool? Because I have.
Bobby asked her about the oil, and she said that she's worried about the oil too. And then she admits to Bobby, like, I didn't realize that JR had so many enemies. And then she tells him she comes clean, like he owns 25% of my company.
And Bobby's like, that's a problem.
Yeah, that's not good. No.
But and Holly, she's young. She's supposed to be like what, 25?
Something, probably. Yeah.
Well, she's young. She inherited this company. She knows a little bit about business, but not enough. So, she, like you said, she went to somebody that she thought she could trust, who took advantage of her. And now she's like, oh shit, what have I done? Realizing that she didn't do enough research.
Right.
Because I'm sure if her father didn't die, she might have probably had a different career path in mind. And
may have told her to stay the hell away from him, and he didn't get the chance.
Right.
Because she was learning the business and then had to take it over, and he didn't get the chance to tell her to stay away from J.R. Ewing.
That could be. Yeah.
Oh, poor Mr. Harwood. Rest in pieces. So then JR and Sue meet with Jim Ellers about his refinery.
It's not for sale.
And he turns them down.
So it's like, you haven't even heard our offer yet.
There's undertones that it's implied that people have told him not to do business with JR.
Yeah. JR sniffs that out pretty quickly. He's like, wait. Someone told you not to deal with me.
JR's like, come on, what's going on? And he's like, who told you? He's like, nobody's told me anything, Mr. Ewing. I'm like, dude, you are acting too weird. And Sue Ellen is like kind of catching on to all of it, but she's Tammy Wynette right now. Stand by your man. And she's like, oh, come on, and he's like, oh, come on, everything's for sale. And he's like, it's really not.
And she's silently taking in her education that will help her later in her business career as she continues to grow and evolve as a character. And maybe Dallas was all really about the evolution of Sue Ellen.
I mean, honestly, if she had stayed on as a character, it kind of would have seemed like that.
The crazy part is, as misogynistic and wrong as we think this show was, it honestly seems like they were trying a little bit on the female empowerment side with what they knew, which wasn't a lot, but they were trying.
Right. I feel like that's Philip Capice doing that. And I feel like Leonard Katzman was like this one side, and Philip Capice was like, no, let's push the ladies.
I got that vibe.
Spoiler alert, look at Angelica Nero being the powerfing businesswoman.
Right.
That Philip
I know.
was
because Dallas really does have its thing about being like a misogynistic show, but and yes, it's not that it's not. It is, but I think that it is if you take the whole run of it, they did a lot of good things for women, and I feel like they sexualize men maybe more than they sexualize women on the show.
That makes sense.
And it was often referred to as a male chauvinist show where the men did the things and the women reacted.
I feel like maybe he thought he was making that show, but I honestly, for the most part, don't see it. I feel like the men are the ones with their shirts off all the time. They're swimming in the pool.
Well, we have a scene coming up soon.
There's a lot of
that we'll
oiled
get
up chests is all I'm saying. And yes, they have ladies too, but I really feel like men are sexualized so much more in the show than the ladies.
That makes sense. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a perspective I've never really thought about before, but I like it.
Look at Peter. Yeah. That's next season, but
oh man, Peter in the Speedo. I mean,
Peter.
I cannot wait to
see
talk.
His dick basically the whole show. Like, come on.
Look, just for me.
And the short shorts and the crop tops.
Blonde hair and blue eye was great, but I dug his roommate. What's his name? Jerry.
I don't even remember
the
his
dark-haired
roommate.
guy with the leather jacket. Oh, woof.
They were obviously trying to go as Blue Lagoon as possible with Christopher Atkins within the network censors.
Of course they were.
I mean,
because if they could have had him swimming around nude like they did with Charlene Tilton or Linda Gray, they would have done that. And
when you think about it, they had a guy in his 20s up against a TV character who is supposed to be in her mid to late 30s. That is when men and women are each supposed to be at their sexual peak.
Uh-huh. A lot of people hate that storyline. I love it. I love it.
I mean,
it has somewhat of a.
It happens more.
I can
often
understand
than
the creep
you
factor.
It is a creep. There is a creep factor because
Definitely.
Peter goes overboard.
Yeah, he does.
But
he does.
Look at that. Who was that? Mary Kay Turno.
No, there is no comparison.
Different. Because that is a minor.
That is a minor. That is rape. He could not consent because of his age.
Right.
Not even the same.
Peter consented. Consented.
And then they ended up together.
For a while, they're not anymore.
Because she's dead.
No, she's dead.
Is she dead?
She's dead, yeah.
Oh, shit. But they got divorced before she died.
I didn't know that.
One of their kids is
just had a
pregnant
baby,
now.
I think, yeah.
Or is pregnant or having a baby. Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone says to me, "Oh, does that make you feel old or something like that?" And I go, "No, they're the one having the kid and the baby.
Okay,
I'm not having the kid and the baby. I'm not old."
Okay, so pretty recently.
Corona?
Don't know.
It makes me feel old that Steve Irwin's kid has a kid.
She divorced.
Bindi, yes.
Billy Flau in 2019.
Right, I knew that. So that's
shit! I did not know that.
I like the Irwins. You bring up the Irwins. I like his kids and his wife. They
she
are.
had colon cancer.
I follow them on Instagram.
During COVID, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty shitty.
And she left everything to Billy and the kids.
Ew.
Wow.
But yeah, I as I was saying, I like the Irwin family.
I don't really know anything about the Irwin family since he died. Honestly, like I didn't even realize that the kids had a show until very recently, and then I felt super old.
Well, I started following because I turned on one of the late night talk shows once, and Robert was on.
Is that the son?
With some animals. Yeah, that's the son with some animals. He was about like 15, 16, 17. And he was hysterical, and he was just so like one of those always happy people, and
like
just
Steve.
had the, and I was like, oh yeah, just like his father. And I was like, oh my God, I and then I started checking out the sister and the mother and just seeing what they were, and there's such a like, I love like seeing their posts. They make me
I'll have
smile.
to follow them.
So back to Holly, she comes to tell how JR came into the 25% of the company, and that she did buy the refinery, but it doesn't account for the 30,000 barrels a day that he's dredging up. JR's dredging up. So where the hell is the rest of that oil going?
So I got to Ray fixing his roof, and I'm like, he's already fixing his roof. He just built that house. Why is the roof need to be fixed already?
Because he needs something to do shirtless with his oiled up chest.
Because roofs last like 20 to 30 years. It should not already need a new roof.
No, it really shouldn't.
That's poor craftsmanship.
It is. But then Dave drives up. He's come to see Donna.
Don't be checking out Ray, Dave.
And he tells her that like they swung the vote, and now like she has a seat. So,
Yep.
But Donna's worried
about Ellie
and the Ewing fight, and now it's a 3-way fight. And
Ray steps up and says that he'll take care of Ellie.
I know. And what does that mean exactly? Like when Bobby was saying it before and now, like, I don't exactly know what that means. Does that mean like he's going to go have heart-to-hearts with her? Is he going to go like drinking with, like, what does that mean?
He's going to drug her and lock her in the basement until the fight's over.
Hey, Bill Cosby.
Jeez.
Okay.
No, he's not going to Cosby her. He's just going to lock her in the basement until the fight is over. Maybe he'll take her to some cattle auctions.
Like, I guess, is he just going to hang out with her? Like, hey, we're going to have like
some
girls' day. We're going to go
distract him.
I know.
Yeah, they're going to go do their nails together. And,
yeah, like what does that mean? I want to know what it means.
And then we cut to one of my favorite elderly people. Bobby is consulting with Mr. Eugene.
And Bobby's asking him about JR, and Mr. Eugene is basically like, tell me what your theory is. Because I want to know. So Bobby's like, yeah, I think that he's totally doing an illegal move and he's selling to the embargoed countries. And Mr. Eugene's like, whoa, that would be insane in the membrane.
And he'll look into it. And as he's leaving the office, he said, the Justice Department is not going to differentiate between your halves of Ewing Oil. They're just going to come in and shut the whole operation down.
Right. And it's true.
But he does say he's on Bobby's side.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So then we cut to Southfork, and Lucy's boss has, like, ratted on Lucy. Like, he called Southfork and told Pam, like, hey, she walked out of a shoot.
That's right. Leland Palmer called.
And, which is... Okay, that's weird.
So
Pam is really worried about her.
Yeah, I mean, we're not talking about confidentiality or anything, but...
I mean, I don't think confidentiality was a thing in 1982 anyway, so, but, still.
But being so out of character for Lucy and having known
maybe
what
he
happened...
was just worried, like, hey, I don't know where she is.
Right, knowing what happened with Roger, so...
Right. Oh, true.
So maybe he's just like, okay, I should...
Let's trust Leland Palmer.
Call the house and
yeah,
until Killer Bob comes.
So basically, so Pam's like, "What happened?" And Lucy just breaks down and basically tells her #MeToo story.
And this kind of, in a way, reminds me of the early Pam in the first 5 episodes, dragging it out of her. The way, especially when she went after Lucy, when she accused the teacher of...
it was very reminiscent of that. Yep. Because it was even on the stairs. The same thing, yeah.
Different mansion, of course, but on the stairs.
But, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, can Lucy just go to a therapist now? For the love of God. She obviously has PTSD. She needs to talk to somebody.
These people see therapy as a weakness.
I'm sure, because it's the 80s.
Yes. And we cut to our final set of scenes here.
Pre-dinner drinks are on the patio tonight, which is a little bit different. We're mixing it up.
The episode started out there with the wedding, and it ends out there.
JR and Sue Ellen arrive back from their honeymoon. And JR is wearing an ascot, so you have to drink.
That's right. And Clayton had one on earlier in the episode when he left.
Oh, shit, I missed
the red one.
Oh, okay. So we have to belatedly drink.
Burgundy or whatever
and Ray,
shade of red it was.
Who's like part of the family, is like, Sue Ellen, let me take your bag. And she's like, oh my gosh, thanks. And I'm like, dude, you are still acting like the help. But you're
because that's what Ray feels in
both worlds. You're like, hey, I'm part of the family. I got a drink in my hand. Let me take your bag.
Yeah.
Don't we have Raul for that?
Actually, I think Ray was just being a nice guy.
He was just being a nice guy. Yeah.
That's very nice.
Which is good. Ray. I like when Ray's a nice guy.
Ray and Bobby, I think they would, even Gary, would have done anything for any of the women in the family at any time. If they needed help, boom.
Yeah.
They're just those kind of guys.
I think so too.
And Sue Ellen goes up to see John Ross.
Yep.
JR comes over to Donna and Ellie and, anything happened while I was gone? Nothing had anything to do with little old me.
Yeah, and Bobby's like, I want to talk to you. And Miss Ellie's like,
wait. No, this is, Bobby's not there yet. Donna tells JR about the Texas Energy Commission.
She got into the commission.
Oh, yeah. They start needling each other.
My first act of business.
Stuff.
That's right. My first act of business is basically going to be to take away that variance you just got.
shut you down. Yeah.
And he's like, okay.
And then immediately Ellie and Ray just kind of look at each other and they peace out
And
and
he's
go
like,
in the
no,
house.
I'm not going to have this. We're going to go eat.
Ellie's like, can we go into dinner now, an early dinner? So she breaks it up with a dinner thing. So don't we need to drink again?
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Doesn't she say something about not wanting to talk about it? And one of them's like, oh, well, we'll be right in. And then that is when Bobby,
Bobby comes and he corners JR, tells him he knows about Galveston and Holly Harwood.
And embargoed countries?
Yeah. And JR's like, embargoed? Like, I would never.
What?
And Bobby's like, yeah, I wouldn't put that past you, so I don't believe you.
We've met Mr. Eugene, right? Okay. What did Mr. Eugene say? Bobby was going to go down with JR's ship because they divided the company, quote unquote, but guess what? It's not divided on paper. I mean, it is, but it isn't. Theoretically, it's divided on paper. It is not literally. The whole corporation is at stake. So if JR fucks up, Bobby goes under with him. Mm-hmm.
And they could both.
That is why JR started Petro State, to move assets. Right. That's why you do that shit. And some people think it's good business. I think it's fucking shady. Just like pay your taxes and pay your taxes, abide by the law. You wouldn't have to keep filing all that paperwork.
A million.
I know. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, Jock, you should have just cut the company in half, gave each person a half a company as its own company, and said goodbye.
Yeah. Yep. Ewing Oil 1, Ewing Oil 2,
whatever the hell you want to rename it. Doesn't matter. But yeah.
JRE Enterprises or something.
What was it? Okay, Jordan Lee had a point. Punk had a point. And now Mr. Eugene has a point too.
Eugene.
He's totally right.
Yeah.
And Bobby's like, all right, motherfucker. If I fall, I'm bringing you down with me.
And then freeze frame on JR and he says, you can try, Bobby. And since it freeze frames on JR, drink once.
Yes. And
scene. So I'm going to go ahead and give this one 5 bourbons.
Woo! Yes!
I love this episode. I think this episode just encompasses what Dallas is. I love it. And it's going to 5 bourbons and all the rest of the bourbons too, because we all wasted now, motherfuckers, because we drank this whole episode.
Yes, we did.
And we should mention that Sarah was not with us this evening because she is actually in Galveston looking to find out where that oil is.
Yeah, she's looking and looking.
She is on the case. Mm-hmm. And she will report back to us next week when we talk about the barbecue.
For sure.
Let's see. I had to put this in the 5 category, and a fist fight in the pool.
It's so good.
Because that symbolizes, that is the quintessential
Dallas
pool fight in the history of the show.
Being pushed in a pool is Dallas.
And poor Fred and his day.
Fred.
And that man that Mickey jumped with. Mickey just comes from out of nowhere, just like
Mickey's just like, I can hit someone. Cool.
I've been waiting to hit somebody, and it's I wanted it to be Ray, but this will do.
Whatever. Well, it's fine. Melanie.
So I think I'm going to give it 5 bourbons as well. But ding, ding, I am ding, going to
right across the board. Ding 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 ding.
Yes, 5. Great episode, amazing episode. And I feel like I also need to donate some, like, I don't know, L-arginine and tingling cream for Sue Ellen to use on JR because he needs to get his attention the fuck back on his honeymoon.
Right?
Sir.
Right. Yes. Sir. Pay attention.
Go get laid. What is wrong with you? Dumbass. You got all the time in the world to go cut deals. Yeah. Now, go cut a deal with your wife.
Get a fucking cock ring or something.
I'm just going to say this. Okay. I'm going to say this. Yeah. When she wants to, you take full fucking advantage of that. And you can quote me.
Right.
Excuse me. Wait. JR and Sue Ellen got married.
We can also use that as a...
Why the hell wasn't Patricia at the wedding of her own daughter?
Oh, that's a really good point. I didn't.
Was
think
she
about
off
that.
getting anal over in Europe with the farm?
And then she's dead, and we just passed over it. Like maybe she died, and someone was
Spoiler:
like,
we didn't, because she comes back in the dream season.
Does she?
Yes, she
Yeah,
does.
Sue Ellen lives with her for a little while.
Oh shit! I forgot
When
about
she
that.
gets out of rehab, yeah, and that's when she's
that's
kind
the
of
dream
telling her.
season. So.
It is
But
the
we
dream
didn't know it
season.
at the time, so
I forgot about that. Holy shit!
we didn't know it at
Yeah.
the time that it was a dream season.
But-
so
Right. Ugh.
And you
I
can
kind of
totally
like to
use
pretend that
that.
the dream season happened for real, and the rest of it was a dream.
Right? But no, I mean, seriously, JR, go bang your wife. What is wrong with you?
Right.
Anywho.
So next week, we are planning to do a live episode. Join us in our Facebook group on Wednesday, September 20th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 4 p.m. Pacific Time. And we're going to have, right now I'm planning to try to do some like a Dallas bingo game to go along with the episode. And maybe some other surprises. We will be talking about Barbecue 3 from Season 6. So please watch the episode and then join us on our Facebook group so you can discuss the scenes with us. We would really love that. And in the meantime, check out our website and also know that we are selling some fun Dallas stickers that are inexpensive that you can buy from us. $3 a piece or $10 for 5.
And
Deal.
If you want cast members back on here talking about the show, get out there and support the Screen Actors Guild in this strike.
Yes. And our next episode is Season 6, Episode 12, 115 of the series, Barbecue 3, which barbecue episodes are always amazing. We named ourselves after them, so.
Yes. And being that we've passed the 100 episode mark, we are now ripe for syndication because we've completed 100.
That's right. We're ripe for syndication.
Yes.
So, when anybody wants to come and like pay us for that, that'd be great. That'd be super amazing.
Yeah.
Never gonna happen.
We'll see about that.
So anyway, we will see you next time. Bye.
Y'all come back now, you hear?
JR, you dumbass, go bang your wife. Now!
Mark your territory, man.
Next on Dallas.
I'm very attracted to you.
You're in partnership with JR. Now, did you bring me out here for some kind of romantic romp? Is this something that he set up for me or what?
And I can't sit quietly by while JR destroys Bobby with dirty tricks.
Well, when it comes to all business, you're even less an expert than that unstable brother of yours.
Daddy taught me a lot of tricks in my early days with the company. And I can get right down in the mud if I have to.
You're going to destroy everything Daddy spent his life doing. You've got to stop. I'm telling you to stop right now. I'll show you what I'm going to do.